What's up, everybody? Give me a second here. I'm just doing my friend a favor here, so I gotta pay attention and watch a bike for a second. So give me 5 minutes, and I gotta set this camera up where I can get a little better lighting situation, anyways. So 5 minutes, count it out. That may be better. What you say, meow? What up, instance? Look at this cool little wine glass I got here. Came with a plastic bottle of wine, a little cup. I think this is my new chalice for the day. What up, Danny Delane? Oh, Sky Hopper. Yeah, see, you said the word, and here I am. Poof. Puff the magic, puff the magic Zenin. Why is smoking healthy? Because it's hot and dry. So if you were to have a cold, wet cough, you would want something hot and dry to balance out the humors. If you were healthy, it would be an addition to your consciousness. It's healthy because it balances the mind, and since the mind is the point of which this expression of life comes from, if you have a healthy, comfortable mind, you have a healthy, comfortable body. And so if smoking something is enticing and something that enlivens you or balances you out, then some people it might not be that. What up, Zach Chrono? Yeah, I figured I told you. I hibernate. I'm like a bear. Well, sometimes like a bear. I hibernate a little bit and I come out and like, what's up? Let's do some things. And in those hibernations, it's plenty of hermetic mentalistic arts of, just self-reflection and little tiny inlets of information that I kind of extract from. So if I watch a couple movies here and there, I watch a bunch of movies and do a little bit of reading and some audiobooks, and so all of that goes into this little thing up here. What up, Onrix Alex? And again, y'all, for whoever wasn't here at the beginning, you got to give me a couple minutes. I'm responsible for a bicycle right now, and it's a really nice bicycle. So I don't want it to be removed from my vision. So what's good with all of you? What do you want to talk about today? Maybe you all can start to query into here, and I'll see if I can't bind them all together and give you one holistic answer for what you all ask the same question. You will all ask exactly the same thing. And we'll see if it lines up with the person inside that is kind of a white witch. I'd asked her, I said, give me a word right now, don't think. What's the word in your mind? And she told me a word. And we'll see if any of you give me a question that links up with what she said the word was. We'll see if we can do this some real-time synchronicity. And speaking of synchronicities, this dude, maybe a year and a half ago or so, he made a couple videos about sync walks, where they just go on a journey through somewhere in England, like and what they do is they'll just follow things that they'll see, and they'll start syncing up with what's going on and have these most amazing little journeys. And he'll tell stories as they're going through this, and you should look it up. It's called Sync. I think it's called Sync Walk. S-Y-N-C Walk. It's kind of what I do sometimes. A tour guide of tour guides. Wicked, Zach Chrono. You made your own little voodoo character. That's wicked, man. Torrens Garden. That's very funny that you just said that. Are you listening to what I'm doing here? So she said the word fingers. And so we were talking about hand magic and finger magic. Imagine that. And while everyone here knows that I'm not bullshitting, I could just walk inside right now and just say, hey, what was the word you just said? And she would say fingers. So finger magic. The fingers, knees, elbows, and toes, huh? Speaking of toes, I need to go get my toenails redone. I had gotten a pedicure the other day, a mani and a pedicure, and it was all right. It was a little tickly. My feet are a little tickly sometimes. Little foreign ladies playing with my feet and snickering and giggling in another language, of which I don't understand a thing. But I don't know if they're laughing at how busted up my toenails are, or just how funny it is and amusing that somebody that looks like me is in there with all these women getting a pedicure. So I must say, my last few videos that I've made, I think are spectacular, if not excellent, if not amazing. Yeah. Danny, it's funny you said Ram Dass. I'd watched that Terrence McKenna Ram Dass that you had posted, but I'd watched it before you posted it. So I mean, well, I'd started it, and then I stopped watching it, and you posted it, and then I ended up watching it, and I couldn't help to think that about it was basically watching a true shaman talk to the shaman's apprentice. It was, you know, Ram Dass has lots of valuable things to say. I'm a big fan, but he was, you know, in the whole thing of how things work, you know, we're all at the same level. We're all doing our thing, but it was like watching a mouse try to play with a tiger. It was watching a master craftsman just speak and storytell and have knowledge in a way that it was like Ram Dass was outclassed and out of his league. He was a million miles deep within a place that he knew nothing of, and I found it cute and entertaining, and I mean, there was times that Ram Dass had some very good retorts and responses to what McKenna was saying, but it wasn't even, if it was the verses, or if it was a challenge, or if it was like Bruce Lee fighting, you know, a paper bag. I mean, it wasn't. It was almost amusing. It was very amusing, because it seemed like Ram Dass was trying really hard to get to the depth of wisdom that was held inside the mushroom brain of Terrence McKenna. What up, Sonos Logos? Always good to see you, man. Interesting. Yeah, definitely he was, and was he not only performing? Was Walt Disney Hitler? Did Hitler exist the way that we perceive? You know what I mean? I always play with I like to go down that very long, spiraling staircase of silliness of maybe. But yeah, I think he definitely was. think there's quite a bit of sigil magic, hand magic, word magic. I mean, what did Disney say? To capture the imagination? Who captured more people's imagination, Walt Disney or Hitler? And how amazingly hilarious would it be if Walt Disney was Hitler? And if anybody's ever seen the greatest speech ever given by, he was a silent actor, and he did basically, he was doing a speech as if he was Hitler, but doing it from this other, what's the name of the actor? Anybody got it? Yeah, I mean, Zach Chrono, I can't comment on that because I'd never met the dude. You know,
it could be a weekend thing.
The way the media works is they build people up and they tear them down. I don't know. You know how many people were along what Disney is. You know, it's like maybe he was fiddling kids, maybe he was diddling. I don't know. Never met the guy. All I can sense is his artwork. Oh, Charlie Chaplin, there it is. Yeah. It's kind of like thinking Michael Jackson was like, but no, that Michael Jackson wasn't. I can't see that with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was already like out of his mind. He was Peter Pan, man. He was just an older dude just floating around, living in an imaginary world. I mean, but then again, who knows? And I don't really, whatever. Hey, shit, I'd have let Michael Jackson jerk me off. Probably. I mean, because he had tiny little hands. He had delicate little hands, like him and Prince. Like, I don't like dudes, but I think I'd let those two, with their tiny little hands. They're both kind of chickish. If I close my eyes. That's so funny. But yeah, the Charlie Chaplin thing, that was an amazing, anybody that hasn't seen it, go check it out. Charlie Chaplin doing the greatest speech of all time. Zach Chrono, you got little hands? No, Zach Chrono, but you're a good looking dude. I can see it here. No, you're definitely dude looking. I don't want your hands on me. Keep your hands to yourself, boy. The greatest speech ever made, yeah. Yeah, Charlie Chaplin, the CC, interesting. Where are we at here? Yeah, sorry I'm not fully engaged here. I still gotta maintain this awesome bike. You guys want to see the bike? It's super fresh. That's probably like a $700 bike. That's really nice. I don't know much about bikes, but it looks fast. It looks like it's got a name. Masiamoto. Moto. Are we conscious agents gathering? But of course. Conscious Asians? Is that what you said? Yeah, anybody ever heard that? Is a really cool bit. This dude, it's a bit about this guy he's got an accent and he keeps talking about agents, but he's saying Asians, and they think he's like really racist, and he's like, no, I'm saying agents, the real estate agent, not the real estate. Nah, it's I don't know if it was Saturday Night Live or something like that. It was a hilarious skit. What's up, JS? I don't know anything about the Aquarius thingamabob at all. The Dong Cheadle, I don't know. Now my dude's inside getting a beverage. I left my bike in the city and then got on the streetcar. So on to hand magic and sigils and things. Oh, Jason Diaguardo, did you ask me this the other day about the Luciferian doctrine? Excuse me. Was that you that asked me the other day? And I said give me a couple days because I wanted to dig into it a little bit. I never met Lucifer, and he's probably not a bad guy, considering God created everything. And if, you know, unless you're into making bad things, then no, probably not. But we certainly know that Lucifer isn't Satan, and Satan isn't the devil. So those are three different characters altogether. So this is the problem talking to people. They try to clump things into a grouping system that they have no understanding of. Lucifer, meaning Venus or the morning star, is a light-bearing instrument. So no, in no way could I see anything bringing light to be, you know, oh, Lucifer. Yeah, lucent technology, Lucy in the sky. These kind of ideas of bringing light to situations is not in any way satanic, because satanic is not Luciferian, nor is it of the devil plane. But as far as I've read about the Luciferian doctrine, off the immediate, and I haven't done too much research, it sounds almost as anyone that I know that does things that are very healthy and holistic and helpful. You know, I didn't see anything that was like, well, look, they're gonna go and destroy the world. Like I've never sensed that from anyone that is in fact, anybody that would claim to be anarchist, atheist, Luciferian, satanic. I've only found them to be well-intentioned, well-meaning, guided, intelligently wise people. I've never found otherwise. The only people that I found to be really the crux of any idiotic acts seem to be in every way religious people, meaning people that have a book that says this is what we do and this is our leader, and they follow blindly to some concepts and believing that there's some sort of moral or ethical code in that book that they can't figure out via, oh, I don't know, life. What's up, Brandzen? Happy New Year, JS. Yeah, and so Jason DiGuardo, I'll dig into that another time on a whole video for you. I planned on doing that anyways. I just had not gotten deep enough into the work to make any comment on it. To, you know, I'm not going to make large comments on things I'm not too invested in knowing about. Is that why I paint my nails? No, I paint my nails for probably the same reason that I leave my hair long, the same reason that I put this shirt on. I like it. I don't know. Now, if I really wanted to get into it, could I tell you the meaning of why I would put black on this finger and white on this finger? Yes, I could tell you all about that, but it wasn't an intentional thing to say, let me, on my Saturnian finger, let me put a black, and on my pointer finger, which is connected to, let me put white. It wasn't like that. I just happened to like where they were. And I was wearing something that it kind of matched. But if I really wanted to, yeah. But I don't like, I've always, let me make it simple. I used to sell cars and I was really good at it. But when I would sell cars, what would happen is the manager would take the people that I'd sold the car to and fuck them over on the back end deal and basically not give them, you know, they work them over for cash, right? And so as I've learned more about magic and more about things, I don't like to use it. It's kind of like Manly Hall said, here's all the magic, but here's why you shouldn't use it. And it's because I don't like to be manipulative of people. I'd rather be organic and original, because manipulating situations is only for weak people. And that's kind of like the idea that I gave people about reading The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Great book, awesome, wonderful. But to apply pressure and manipulate situations to get an outcome makes you a fractionated being. You can't possibly run through all 96 theories on how to use power in every situation, but you can be authentic. It's very simple to be authentic, but it's, you know, just because I know all this because I know what I know. The only thing that I might use in any way to possibly affect anything would be the way that I maybe tone my voice or speak, and that's only slightly, and that's only just so I don't sound like a babbling idiot. At most times I'll just try to avoid that. That's about it, because then it gives other people possibility to extract what they want from whatever I'm saying. With me, not me being a dictator, I like to define things and to show maybe what languages or what words are, what art is, but give you your own ability to have an experience for yourself and not to direct or control. Scorpios are Scorpios because they were born from people having sex on Valentine's Day. Scorpios come out of people that are having sex on Valentine's Day. So, you figure that one out. The 69 theories come from? You were 96, 69 theories? You mean like just the male, female? I don't know what you really mean there. Other than like, you know, it's 69 is yin and yang. It's male and female. It's the chessboard. But I don't really know what you mean by that. Yeah, Brand Zen. Bartending is fun, man. Bartending is, I think, out of all of the things that I've said to people, like, if there's anything you do in your life, be a bartender. You'll learn as much as you could learn anywhere by being a bartender for a couple of years, and work in the 3 different types of restaurants. Work in the dive bar, work in the Applebee's, and then work in the high class bar, and you'll learn everything you need to know about sociology, psychology, philosophy, just how people are. You'll see what they are. You're serving up the truth serum. You're serving up spirit. Jonathan Livingstone Seagulls, I love it. Hey, Skyhopper, hit me on that, like either an email or somewhere else, so I can, because this is not going to show up for me later. So if you can just like email or put it on underneath one of my other videos. You serve me, yeah. I'm a classy drunk most of the time, except for when I'm not. But you guys are lucky. You get to see me sober. You get to see me drunk. You get to see me all sorts of different ways. So it ain't too much different than what you already see, except for interacting with people in human form, which is quite contagious. Honorix Alex, good question. I've dove into this, dived or dove. I'm not sure which one do you prefer, dived or dove. What you got there?
Oh, man.
What color? You remember? Red, yellow, or green?
I was in the yellow.
No,
I was in the. I got the
green Borneo, maybe.
the kratom.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still for me.
good man.
My first time checking this place. I just walked in, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's an enjoyable place. Good energy here.
Yeah. You what are you up to right now? Just chilling?
Just making a little video, talking to some people, teaching about some magic.
Yeah. All right. That's what's up. Let me hold you. But man, nice meeting you. Nice chatting for a split second.
Yeah. See you around.
Thanks for watching my bike for me.
Of course, man. Stay well. So polyphasic sleeping. I've answered that before, but there's maybe 5 different kinds of sleeping patterns. One was the Uberman, the one was the polyphasic, and there's a couple other that divide up when you sleep and how you sleep. And here's how I try to explain it. And it's about putting your brain into certain patterns, certain waves. Most specifically, theta and delta. Now, if you look at someone like Bucky Fuller, he was doing a sleep pattern that basically had him sleeping every 2 hours for 15 minutes, I believe, or every hour for 15. I know you can look it up. And what he was doing is, when he would be taking those naps, he would be putting himself in delta sleep, where he was basically instilling his body with healing mechanisms by turning his brain off into delta mode would reestablish energy in his body. When he was awake, he was almost certainly always in theta, which no one's in theta. You could tell by the way he would be looking up in different directions with his eyes and the way that he'd be talking and using his hands, that he was almost out of his body whenever he was talking. This is why he was like so much of a genius. I mean, he was also autistic and quite weird. He was a strange dude, and he was very, very mathematic and engineering, and he was very, but what we can see what he was doing is he's putting himself in a theta brainwave. I don't think he was experiencing much beta or alpha brainwave ever. And you could tell because there was a certain amount of disassociation he had from whoever he was talking to, that he was his own thing in his own wave of consciousness. And those sleeping patterns allow the body and the mind to harmonize in a different way. Why is it that we sleep 8 hours or 12 hours a night? Why do they tell you stay up like this and then you sleep from this hour? Why? Who came up with that? Now, whenever I'm most comfortable, and I think, you look into different cultures, why do they look into the Indian culture? Why do they take afternoon naps? What's that about? Because it's hot. They've been drinking tea. What time do they get up? Are they getting up right when the sun rises? When do you get up? Now, if we start to look at the ebb and the flow of where the sun is in the sky and how the energy works on us, it would seem only reasonable to sleep at, say, noon when the sun is right overhead. So maybe you're getting charged sleeping on a beach. I mean, there's different ways of looking at it, but I think doing either the Uberman or the polyphasic sleep is a great idea for creative endeavors, but it also it's quite isolating because no one else is on that sleeping pattern. No one else is on that awake pattern. I'm very much like that in the way that I've cultured and designed my life, the times and places that I'm awake and where I go at what times and how, slightly different than other people. I end up in places that I don't look like I should be there at that hour. I'll go to dive bars with a suit on at 6 o'clock, and I'll go to a really nice restaurant with grungy clothes on at 11, right? And I do that because I find humor in it. But there's also, it's putting yourself in your own time, in your own space, and using a theta, because the theta realm is where you can get out of body. The theta realm is where your mind is functioning at the highest capacity without causing any stress on your body. There's a slight mind awake, body asleep disassociation. So yeah, polyphasic sleep is a great idea if you can get into it. If you can find yourself a way of, getting into a job where you could take a nap every hour, every 2 hours. Eli Jen, why do you watch these anymore? Because I'm entertaining. That's why. Why you do anything? There you go. Yeah, you see Dread, my man Dread right there? I know, isn't that funny? Yeah, you've seen people watch me watch the bikes. I'm like, all right. Because the bikes, there used to be a rack over there, and people, the rack's gone. So I watch people's bikes. That's my humble service to. Purple streams of light at night. I've seen green and purple outside as columns of light when I was at the park. There's a little lake there, and it depends on the hour, and I think there's something really to do with the moon and the angle of that, as well as how much sun gazing you've been doing. The more sun gazing I was doing, the more columns of light I would see at night, I was like, wow, did I take some LSD? Did I take some drugs? Because it was that intense that it was like maybe 3:30, and I was looping, and what's up, buddy? And I was also sun gazing all day, and I could see lights at night in a different way. So that might be something to do with it, depending on, are you blasting color out of your eye? That's another thing you could really consider, because your your eyes are biophotonic in the sense that you're not only collecting light, but you're shooting light out. And as I was explaining earlier, if you stare at something long enough, you're bringing the light into your eyes to spit it back out. And if your body or in your mind or your pineal gland has light in it, holding light or sound, because sonoluminescence can create light, you're spitting light out, so you could be spitting out imaging. This is like looking into Montauk Chia and the dark room meditations, where they'll stay in a dark room for multiple days to a week, and it will get to the point where they're projecting out of their own eyes images. So you take all the light in, and then you start projecting it, because now all of a sudden you have no light, so you have to use the light inside of you to do it. There's another person that did that through a different method, and I'm sure you all know who that is. Monica Schutz. She was like one of the first people really online doing these awesome videos. She's like 40 something, and she looks like she's 20. Red hair, good skin, and she was looping her urine and did a really long urine fast, and was able to project her reality right out in front of her, where she was like having vision in front of her, literally having visions. So that's another way to do it. So I think that part of that, getting to the point of throwing complete three-dimensional imagery in front of you, you'd start by producing color in front of you. And one of the methods to getting to that point and doing that would be to start looking at, they're called thetagrams, or I forget the other name for them, but basically it's like black and white images that by crossing your eyes you can see an image come out of the paper. Now that's one way to do it. Another way is to take and draw yourself a thick image with a black marker, maybe a green, maybe a blue, maybe a yellow, because what you're going to do is you're going to invert that color as you project it back out. So you'll sit there, you'll draw an image, a circle with something inside, and make it big and blocky to begin with, and then you'll stare in the middle of the image for like 60 seconds, and then you'll look up and project it onto the white wall, or onto your eyelids even if you're really good, or out into wherever, onto a surface. And that is one of the first ways basically to start using your imaging capacity inside of your mind to project it out in front of you. And so those colors might be a result of what you're looking at all day. If you're seeing purple images, what you're probably looking at during the day would probably be yellow. So yellow colors will produce a purple image. Where if you're looking at a red color, you'll see the opposite of red, right? I don't remember what the colors are across in the wheel, but that's how that works. Attempting a polyphasic sleep during a fast, is it a good idea? Yeah, it's the best idea, because when you're fasting, you're gonna already be your sleeping patterns are gonna be off the wall anyways. Whenever I loop, looping urine's gonna put me in a sleep pattern where I only get a few hours anyways, and I'll nap during the day. So it's already kind of, interestingly enough, it almost forces me to do that, where I'll be awake until I'm tired, and then I'll take a nap. And so it actually kind of works out where it's 3 hours awake, and then a little nap, and then 3 hours awake, and then a big chunk of sleep at night. And I think some more people are suited to spending time awake during the day and the evening. I think it has to do with when you were born. So obviously people that are more dualistic, Geministic, those kind of signs will have a little more, like, you know, there's nighttime people. A very small amount of people are very nighttime. Just like look at out in nature, what percentage of animals are nocturnal creatures? A very small number, and I think that probably reflects almost directly the number of people on the planet that are nocturnal as well. So you watch people that have jobs that they work at night. It's probably about 18% of the population, maybe a little less than that. So I think there's something to do with that as well. And speaking of that, I do wonder what Bucky Fuller's diet looked like to be able to be on a polyphasic sleep. But again, I don't think a lot of these people that were into this, I don't know, this next level kind of wisdom and knowledge, I don't think they were too focused on diet or have any understanding of food and its how it played into their consciousness. So I think the bridge and understanding that the diet is your deity and getting that into realizing what you're doing to your temple and what you're be able to image. I think that is something about the next step of if there is an evolution or to whatever consciousness is or to understanding, like these people that were doing groundbreaking work 30, 40 years ago, they had no idea about nutrition really, unless they were in cultures that were already steeped in traditions of understanding what food was.
I don't. They haven't yet.
Thank you. Eminem, what up? Yeah, I've heard of Hemisync, and I would probably stick with what Savan said about that, which is his early work. You're talking about Monroe. His early work was probably the correct work, and then later on it got gobbled up and it got altered to serve someone else's purpose and someone else's agenda. So I can't really, this always goes into the ideas people have about binaural beats and all of this stuff, to be able to put a sound in the middle of your head. Well, they're all going to work and they're all going to help you lucid dream or get out of body, but where are they taking you? What are those sounds doing? And I'm not suggesting that they're all for a negative purpose or to help someone else on the. I'm not suggesting that at all, but just know that that's what the sound wave is. It's going to put you on that vibration. It can be done well. I've suggested this to people before. If you all wanted to do it, we could just all link up and say, hey, let's listen to this one specific frequency and let's all do that tonight and see if we can't meet up on that frequency in an astral realm. That's a possibility for sure. Zet Chrono, I don't know who that is. Right on, Joseph. Tiger Song, what you talking about? You always why you ask me the same question? What do you mean? Start drinking your piss. Why you ask that? What are you doing? You here just to cause chaos, Tiger Strong? How do you start urine therapy? Piss in a cup and drink it. Or have your brother Lion Strong piss in a cup and drink his. I don't know. What up, Ox Maxo? Yeah, and Tiger Strong, I think it would help because you're putting, again, your urine is your perfected version of your water for yourself. And if your perfected version included more facial hair, that's what would provide you. So yeah, man. Aldrin, for remembering and paying attention, I mean, it's always, fasting and cleansing the brain is the highest order of things. Paying attention is I mean, obviously the birthplace of paying attention is interest, if you're interested in it. And so that's a difficult thing if you're really not interested in what they're talking about. But if you change the way that you view the information they're giving you, then that would be a good place to start, to actually have an interest in it. Maybe have an interest in the sense of finding, like, hey, I'm going to write this paper, what you want me to, teacher, and I'm going to write you a paper of the combating or the truth to this, because this is nonsense. I know your books say this, but I'm finding this information here. So maybe that interests you too. The interest is finding the bullshit they're feeding you. And another way, specifically, would be to get yourself some peppermint oil and bring it to class and smell it. It'll keep your brain functioning. What up, Butte Wayne? The latest miracle? Probably my dude just letting me watch his bike, meeting him. That was pretty miraculous. He was a cool dude. I have that exact same shirt, and he had a really awesome, he had some awesome rings on, and his necklace was super cool. And I dug his vibe, so that was pretty miraculous. I mean, in the larger sense of what you're probably asking for, I mean, shit's around you all the time, but it's really not miraculous. It's just your capacity to accept and believe that anything is possible, up to and including levitation. What up, Ricardo? Hit me on my underneath here. There's my, all the way at the bottom is my email, Theoluminous. Hit me on there, man. And I'll try to hook that up real soon. I kind of got behind. A bunch of people want to do one-on-ones, and I was just mad, like, behind on emails, and it just, then I was like, I need a break from the internet for a minute. But I'll try to hook up with you real soon. If you need it real soon, just let me know. Just be like, dude, I want to talk to you soon. So yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I would, and Dong, I would agree with Dong Cheadle here, Aldrin. Try jiu-jitsu. You're probably bored and need stimulation. A lot of people, some people require mental stimulation, some require physical stimulation. You know, and they work hand in hand, but some people, like, I'm different in the sense that sometimes I require much mental stimulation. Sometimes I require much physical stimulation. This goes into my just general Geministic qualities of my being. But more often than not, people have like, okay, I'm very grounded and I like physical stimulation. And they're the people that need to find a way to start using their mind a little more. So yeah, find something that intertwines the two. Jiu-jitsu, learning anything new. Like I just started drawing again. I just got a couple pens out and like started drawing, and it was nice. I enjoyed it, but I probably won't do it for another month or two. That's just me. Other people might like, oh, then they find this really good meditation within drawing. Maybe it's basket weaving, maybe it's knitting, maybe it's, some people require this methodological work like this right here. Some people require this. You know, the 108 mala beads. And so what they do is they put it in their left hand to make their right brain start counting. And it shuts that part of the brain down so their creative part of the brain can work. Other people don't require that, but it's other people want to be more expansive and creative. It's a totally different thing. So just find the thing that entices you. And I'd agree with Skyhopper. Ashwagandha is good. Ashwagandha or tribulus is another. It's another one very similar. And one of my favorite berries, Schisandra berry. It's basically it's the gem of all gems. The flavor, the sweetness, the sour, the bitter, it has all of the 5 major elements within Chinese medicine. So Schisandra berry, ashwagandha, and tribulus are probably 3 things that would be awesome. What up, Father Lucky? What's going on, man? What is the best daily meditation? I for one, I find new meditations every day. I don't have too many rituals myself. I find that to be a meditation in itself. That finding something new is my meditation. Learning something is a meditation. Other people, and this kind of goes back into the mala bead thing, some people need structured linear order of saying, I'm going to get up every day at 6:35, and I'm going to, the best thing to do when you wake up is obviously keep your eyes closed, don't move, and try to remember your dream, and then, walk into the dream, get up. And the meditation I think it really is sign oriented. I think a water sign versus a Leo is going to have 2 different types of meditations that would be beneficial to them. So I think that really plays a big role. That's why I often, this is why I don't do one-on-ones, and this is why oftentimes it takes to give a grand arching, like, this is the meditation you need. It doesn't, it's very, you're your own you're your own guru, you're your own thing, and finding that thing is, finding the meditation is a meditation. I think that goes into, and then once you find it good, you're in there. Then you're put it into gear and you're good to go. Buteween, did I witness magic practitioners at Mardi Gras? I didn't do too much Mardi Grasing. I mean, yeah, there's people that, you know, I mean, we're in New Orleans down here, so people are practicing magic all day, all the time. There's a lot of people that are very much into it and are part of the hoodoo cults and things. But you know, during the big parade, it's not so much because it's more of a family event. Like, people are just parading, catching things and doing stuff. And I mean, the people that are on the floats, there's a little bit of magic going on there, especially when you see the floats, and there's a little bit going on there for sure. Zach Chrono, what would happen if a baby did ayahuasca? I don't assume anything would happen. I think that it wouldn't affect them, because I think they're already just dripping DMT throughout their brain, and they're already on an ayahuasca, a dimethyltryptamine mushroom journey anyways. So I don't think anything would happen. I like Joe Dispenza. I like him a lot. Bruce Lipton, I could take him or leave him. They're both cool. I've liked what they've been in. But Joe, I appreciate how he articulates things, and I think he seems to have a being and heart about him. He's not coming from a mental paradigm. He's coming from a feeling paradigm. Oh, maca is good stuff, man. Maca's a good supplement. I think you can combine them. Branzen, do I know your zodiac sign? I don't. I would assume it's Gemini. I think maybe we joked about that one time. Yeah, Danny, drawing is dancing with your fingers. And yeah, dancing is drawing with your whole body, huh? Yeah, maca is good for a lot of things, especially adding it to coffee, because it makes it creamy, and it also gets rid of a little bit of the jitter you might get out of it, especially if you're not using really, really high-grade coffee. What up, Eilear? Yeah, Buteween, I hear you. Antioxidants, I've made, look at the videos I made about antioxidants and probiotics. Anything that is anti-something, you should, you know, I've never been pro-antioxidant anyways. I'm pro-biotic, right? So biotic means life, pro-life. Antibiotic or antioxidant, again, the clue is in the word. If your body is full of iron, the way to get it out of you is to oxidize it. So when you're breathing, you're oxidizing something. So I'm oxidizing. Why would I want to anti-oxidize? The only thing that you'd want to oxidize is things that don't belong in your body. Your body shouldn't have things in it that need to be oxidized. But we've been sold a false paradigm that we're iron-rich blood creatures, and we're not. We're iron-rich since the Iron Age, since we started using iron pans to cook out of. And we started ingesting heavy metals that caused us to be Iron Man. See? Now it makes our blood rich, redder and more, but it shouldn't be. It should be pink. Your blood should be pink and working towards something else. So the oxidation is what we need more of. We need to oxygenate the body. We say, oh, we need antioxidants. Then why do so many people have such good results by breathing? You can't live without breathing, so we're oxidizing things. What about hydrogen peroxide? That's extra oxygen to break up what's in your body that shouldn't be there. It's extra oxygen. Om Namah Shivaya. Yeah, Gary Baxter. I say that all the time. Om Namah Shivaya. Go watch yourself some. Go watch yourself. What movie is that from? Oh man, which one is it? The Gary Baxter, tell me the movie when he goes and grab the heart out of him. Is it the second one or the third one? Huh. We'll get back to that. Yeah, that's what's up, Skyhopper. Distilled water and organics. That's the way to go, man. What's up, Be Free? A signless person will be born. I mean, if you can create yourself as a signless person, that's when you become the sun, which isn't really a sign, right? It's kind of you become the center of the monad, the center of the clock. And so you're basically reborn as the time portal yourself. And Gary Baxter with the wise words. I gave up Lent for Lent. I did not give up Lent though. Let me see. Let's see what we got here.
That I don't know. The cameras I don't know because it's a camera.
Nope. I guess I gave up Lent. I gave up Lent for Lent too. What am I drinking here? It's a wine. It's a special mixture of some cheap garbage wine and a port wine that I have, and this other, I forget the name of the wine, but it's really super delicious. So I take cheap wine and then I concoct something that's a little sweeter and a little richer, more flavorful, and doesn't cost me as much. Gives me a nice little buzz. And this thing here, this is Kratom, and it's yellow Borneo Kratom. Be Free, what do I know about blood over intent? Go search through my videos, put blood over intent. I have maybe 5 or 6 videos if you're really interested. If the ones that you find don't serve you well enough, I will release my other ones that I made, but they just became a point of conflict for people, and that wasn't what my point of the videos were. But I know well about it. And the easiest way to put it, you can have piss over intent. You can have cum over intent. You can have sweat over intent. All of these things are the same thing. Blood is not the highest source of magic. Semen is. You could take blood out of your system and put it into a woman, and you won't produce a child. But you could take your semen and put it into a woman and produce a child. Simple logic. Semen is way more powerful magic than blood is. Yes or no? See? Your sweat is more powerful than blood. Why? Because it's pure. It's more pure than your blood. Why? Because it's coming out of your skin. It was your blood. Now it's outside of you, right? And what does it take to sweat? A lot more work than it does to cut a hole in your skin. Urine. Urine is better than blood. Why? Because it's your blood that's been purified. So my urine is more powerful than their blood magic. Me drinking my blood that's not gonna heal me. Me drinking my urine will heal me. What's more powerful? Simple. People make this way too complicated. And I went to the Hermes parade the other day. In New Orleans, during Mardi Gras, there was the Hermes parade, and oddly enough, I did not see the person that claims to be Hermes there. I thought they were doing a parade for him, but he didn't show up. That's the blood I drink right there, the blood of, and that's always what it was meant to be, the blood of the juice. The juice is the blood of the fruit. So drinking the blood is drinking the juice of the fruit. And beyond that, 7-day wine, meaning take the fruit juice, let it ferment. Let it ferment for 7 days, and you'll have the wines. And that's the method for dancing. That's the method for enlivening the spirit and for letting more energy into the fruit juice. Wow, that's crazy, Skyhopper. The distilled water got rid of her migraines. Interestingly, a friend of mine used to get migraines, and then one of my master teachers out there, Don Tolman, he suggested that you look into the sun and you say out loud that I will never have a migraine headache again, and you stare into the sun and you believe it, and it will. Not only are you ingesting the sun, but you're coating something there. And after she did that, she never got a migraine for like 2 years after that. Not until like, she started just like, eating bad again and doing things that were kind of like anti-spirit, right? But she cut off, she would have migraines all the time. Cut them off for like 2 years, staring into the sun and telling the sun what she wanted. Both are very vital. Dong Cheeto, your Vata is out of balance. You crave cooling things. Ice is not necessarily cooling. Okay, ice is going to cause your body to have to heat up. Ice is actually heating. You see, this is why when you go to hot climates like India, they're eating hot peppers and drinking hot tea in this hot sun. They're drinking chai. Why? Because it's causing the body to cool down. By putting something hot in it, it's causing the body to cool down, to use its energy to cool down. But if you put ice in your body, it's going to cause your body to heat up, you see? So cooling things would be yogurt, butter, fine thing, a cucumber. You would probably, if your Vata is out of balance, drink cucumber water. That will help out lots. For astrology, Vedic or Western is correct. I think there's something to be said about where you were born and what culture you're in, because certainly the way that people live in, say, North America is going to be wildly different than the way you live in sub-Saharan desert versus in, Russia. So I think they all have their places. I think there's one. I think I would just go with Santos Bonacci's work. I don't know which one he spews out as the most correct model, but I think again, speaking to what culture you're in is how, obviously, what is your sign if you're in Chinese astrology? Are you a rat or an ox or a goat? But yet you're over here and you're, again, it's going to be culturally defined to a degree. I mean, yes, we're all human. We all have this one set of energies that are coming into us. So I'm not that well versed on the two of them and the differentiation in the past. But I would suspect it's Vedic because it's just more ancient, and the Western mind and the Western world has tended to adulterate things for their benefit rather than the benefit of the practitioner. Just like in religion, like it's the priestcraft stole the pagan way of being, of knowing self and knowing that they're the magicians doing the work, and took the altar and put it in front of everybody and say, you all know nothing, we have the book here. So I think in that way I would probably side a little, I would tend towards Vedic. And I'd also look into what is it? Wakey. His name is Mark Knight, who wrote an awesome book called the Three. I don't remember the name of the book. Mark Knight. Wakey is his name. Wayki on YouTube. I would look into his work. He's really awesome. And I have a very long story about a golden scarab and him. It is a very intense story.
Do you come here regularly, or am I leaving my phone number? Yeah, no, man, because people listening on my phone.
Ray Nava, Aries is the ram, right?
I'll tell you what,
And I'm a little behind. I'm at 4:23, so yeah, I'm about 10 minutes behind you.
It's Frank. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Like I said, the thing is, I'm house sitting for my parents. My dad's had some health problems, so
Jake Kelly, I'm not quite understanding what you're saying there. Sometimes you feel an intuitive sort of guilt. Guilt is not intuitive. Guilt is built in through the states of consciousness and religious factions and governmental, like you call them archonic force or whatever. Guilt is all about pressure from outside influences that have nothing to do with intuition. Intuition is freeing. Intuition is truth. Intuition is expansive. So to say that guilt is intuitive is that's very Christian, you know. So so if you can rephrase that, maybe I could understand what you're saying better. I think you're kind of saying like you feel proud of yourself because you've created something, but you feel guilty for being prideful of your creation. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, be free. I'm on board with the hybrid.
yeah, really.
We're all hybridized to some degree. Oh, fire is the thing. We're the fire keepers, Gary. You know this. The fire is. I've said this plenty of times. There's one element turned into three, and we are fire. We hold the fire. We have opposable thumbs. We create fire. We're the only creature that can start a fire. The rest of them are not. You don't see fire in nature. That's inside of you. So, fire is, as I say, fire in the light. See, the fire in the sky, the fire in the mind. So. Yeah, fire is what you are. It just depends on how bright your candle is, or how bright your fire is. And yeah, with the raw meat thing, I think what the fire was used as a cleansative agent. This goes into like the practices of you know, burning off the dross, or being Prometheus, you know, these kind of ideas. But the initial meat eating, you know, that's you know, Gary, that's a long one. That's a long-winded one, and I think just getting back to the highest order and form of self, we're not consuming that much. I think what we'd be consuming would be, I think we would be smoking, breathing liquid. I think it'd be the ingestion is the air, and then the water, and then we get all the way down the line to meat. But you know, there is a place and purpose for it, and I think it tends to be the colder, more difficult climates to survive in. There you go, Joseph. Thank you. Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom. Back what, like 9 minutes ago? Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. What's up, Resonance Creative? I guess I'm a little far behind on what you're all laughing at, but apparently you're laughing at me. Apparently I said something funny. I wasn't there for it, though. Oh, the belly button thing. You used to pick and smell your belly button lint? Zach Chrono, very funny. The belly button is a great portal for oil. You can put turmeric and almond oil into your belly button, because that's think about it. That was where you came from. That was you were connected to the mother. That was your first mouth. You know, I mean, for women, the south mouth is a little something different. But your first entryway into your body is your belly button, and it's right in the middle. So to really, I mean, think about that energy expanding. We always talk about the dantian, or the belly button. It's bowels world, belly, the belly button. That's the button for bowel. If you could feed bowel through the belly button. So get into some oil, some different types of oils, and different types of substances to put in the oils, and ingest them through the belly button. Yeah, Resonance Creative. Kratom's cool. I mean, obviously it's really cool because the FDA is trying to, you know, fuck it up. They're trying to, like, oh, it's like, it's some sort of It's a Schedule 1 banned substance. It's a plant, dude. Relax, y'all. It's not that serious, y'all. But see, they go and make marijuana legal, but then grasp onto it, tax it, and start to alter it. And now they got to find something new. Now all of a sudden, this thing that's this solution for the opiate epidemic, which is literally what goes on in the Americas, and there's a solution right in that cup for it, which gets people off of all of the narcotics and the opiates and the things that they're addicted to because they're chemically laced with salts. And so now they want to try to fight one more plant, and it's all just awful. It's all just awful research that's done, saying it claimed the lives of 40 people or something. And then I'm like, hey, how many people died because of aspirin last year? Oh, 6,000? Oh, okay. But yeah, kratom is interesting because there's different strains of it and different plants in different areas that are obviously, if they're from different places of origin, where the sun is, where the sun is overhead, and where what's in the earth, and all of the, obviously the sound that's going on around it, the people around it, the animal life, all of that is affecting what's going on in the plant life. And then it comes out as, like here they serve 5 different kinds of kratom. There's a yellow strain, a red strain, a white strain, a green strain, and they all have slightly different effects. Some are for more mood altering, some are more calming for the body. I mean, it's really no different than weed. It's really no different than alcohol. It's really no different than any other substance. It's just, it's the fact that it works so well for getting people off of the pharmaceuticals that are, making people customers and paying into the system, right? We don't want to heal people out here, do we? You've been doing agnia horta. I rolled my R in there. You're welcome for that. But I don't know that word. It sounds like a word that I know in Hindi that I thought meant taking seeds and putting it into shit, or eating shit. I mean, I'm not, it sounds like the word, but I don't think that's it. I don't think that's what you were going for. Although the word caprophagia means eating shit. Caprophagia. That's a very fun word. Gary Baxter here, we're going to do it. Eye burgers over in cents. And here, I'm gonna just jump onto that idea real quick for people. Look at the language, because we always play with the language properly here. If the word is blood over intent, or eye booger over intent, whatever you want to put, what you're doing is you're making a division line. You're putting something on top of something else. So it means blood is over your intention. Now, if they really wanted to do it right, if they were really honest, if they really knew what they were talking about magically, what they would say, intent over blood. My intentions are way more powerful than blood. So I will show you all how to do intent over blood. Wouldn't that make more sense? It's a mathematical formula, is it not? If I piss over intent, if I piss over blood, what I'm saying is piss is more powerful than blood. If I say blood over intent, what I'm saying, blood is more powerful than intent. And that's just not true. Is it? Is it now? Or I'll do Sadhguru. Isn't it? So your intention should always be of a higher order. Your imagination should be of a higher order. Your heart, your belief, your desire, the goodness over whatever. What's up, Angel Creations? Is money a form of electricity to generate income? Money is a talisman's idol. Is it a form of electricity? I don't know. Can you run an electrical current through it? We used to be able to. And see, this is the divide into fiat currency into an illusory currency. Now, this is all fine and good, the currency, fiat currency, and getting into cryptocurrency. We went from what was a currency that you could run electricity through, which was a coin made of copper. Electricity runs right through a copper wire, and silver can run current right through it. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, this actually has real, true, working, real-world value. Let's turn this into a piece of paper that we can't run currency through, which then becomes fiat and has no backing, no real anything. And now we've turned it into what is called a cryptocurrency, which means a dead currency that's more appropriately deemed a digital currency that is run through a dead system. Now, it's, again, there's nothing against fiat or dead currency because it's all illusion anyways. So getting to it, can we run, because it's actually made a loop if we would pay attention here, because what's inside of a computer? Copper, gold, silver. We're running that system back through the computer now. So that currency that's showing up on the screen as you have 1 Bitcoin, you have X amount of energetic units running through the system, which is the computer, is where it actually started. And this is why you originally would have a coin that you could throw into a wishing well. You could charge a penny with your energy and put an intention into that and throw it into the water, which would then recycle that. This is what, wishing well. Look up the video I made on that. You'd put intention and energy into a penny because it was copper, can hold and maintain an energetic charge. See? So as far as, you know, to a degree, if we look at money in the way it is, we get charged up. Somebody says, hey, I'm going to give you $1 million. You'd be all charged up. All of a sudden you'd have energy running through your system. So in a way it is a form of electricity, sure. Copper is blood too. Yeah, copper. See, this gets into some deeper things that I've done on blood work and what I think copper might be and why maybe the noble metals should be ingested, maybe. Which would be the copper, the gold, the silver, maybe platinum, maybe iridium. Like, these are maybes, and because I've always said, like, no, we're made of ether, we're made of, you know, we don't need those things, but those things do in one degree become what is the spice, or what is kind of allows for conductivity through you, and I think keeps you in physical form. I think immortal people, so that they may maintain this body, eat gold, silver, copper to maintain this body. Once they've become immortal and able to travel, and, you know, I'm outside of the spacesuit, that I can then collect my spirit into a form and then consume what would be conductive noble metals, and then my body would be those things. And so you think of all these people that have these super chi powers. Well, if your body is filled with copper that you can run electricity through, nobody could touch you. Like, literally, they would electrocute themselves because you would be made of the elements of conductivity. But let me not tell you how it all works. But as usual, I'm just some goofy dude on the internet that I don't really, what do I know? Maybe. Who knows? I can't be sure of anything. As I say, things seem to be. Things seem to be a certain way. But are they? The world has become overrun with facts and not enough creativity to create new futures. I'm into the business of creating futures for all of you. Residence creative, I don't know anything about that. I think everybody is. Dude, think about that, what you're asking. If you have a video, if you have a channel, people are stalking you, right? If you're famous, if you're in Hollywood, if you have a job, if you own a corporation, everybody that works for you is doing that. So no, it's like, who cares? People desire energy. People desire information. People desire to be of a higher order and higher good. This is simple. So why wouldn't people try to follow that? Follow the leader. Follow the thing that literally has more quality information. It has more integrity. If you saw a system that was that was just solid. It was solid state electronic system. You would be like, I would like to mimic that and be like that. So in every way, that is a reflective, you become a reflective surface for what people would desire to become. What up, Aiden Aziz Gargari? Azizi. Aiden Azizi Gargari. I like that. Aiden Azizi Agari. What's going on, man? Well, thank you, Skyhopper. I really appreciate that, man. I do. That's awesome. Aiden Azizi, talk about DMT. I've done some specifically on it. I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to talk about it? What do you want to know? Like, I mean, for me to be redundant and give you like all of the, you know, what Rick Strassman said in the Spirit Molecule, or get into all of the other books, that would seem to be a little redundant. I think it is a portal for imagination. It's a portal for creativity. And it's in everything. If you knew how to extract it from living systems, you could get it from grass. You could get it from plant life. You are getting it from that. But most people aren't getting it into their skull because their body is not a fluid state. It's too dense. People aren't doing headstands. Why do you think a child is always trying to put their head on the ground? They're putting their head on the ground to ground their forehead out for their pineal gland with the ground. They're getting in with mama. And they want to do that forward roll. They put their head down. They're connecting, and then that's causing the fluid in their spine to go into their skull and really to get the DMT moving, to get water, to rehydrate the brain. So there's something there with that, as well as grounding out directly your pineal gland, as well as other glands in your body. It's look into IDO Portal. His name is IDO Portal, and he does all of the different types of animal walks. He shows you how to move the body in a way that would mimic all of the creatures in nature, and if you would understand what these creatures in nature are doing that you're not doing, is you're not putting your hands in the ground. When's the last time you grounded out your hands? I've said this very often, talking about people that live in, say, New York City or Chicago or any major city. There are people that have never put their feet. Are you guys still getting me here? Because it's saying I have a bad connection. There are people that have literally never had their feet on bare earth, that they've worn their entire life. They've never grounded themselves out. So how is it that they could ever connect to what the mother energy is? They never have. They've always had their rubber on their feet that disconnects their soul from the planet. So there's people literally that have never, ever, ever really felt the connection to the earth. So now upgrade that. Have you ever put your hands on the earth? So you start to change the parts of your body that are connected with the earth, and you're grounding out. Think about times if you've had an injury. You ever injured your elbow? You know what you do? You fall to the ground, you roll on your elbow. What's that about? To ground out the injury, because the injury, what an injury is in your body is a positive charge in your system, and you want to ground that charge out. You want negative, what you want is negative ionization of that charge, which is the throbbing. So when we find things like turmeric, why is turmeric good for swelling? Turmeric is a root vegetable. It's a grounding vegetable. So see the connection there? And so that brings it back to all of the, I mean, I kind of took away from the DMT, but it is all kind of combined. And DMT, you know, it's kind of connected to ATM or ADAM. It's atom, and it's a very close thing there. Or the atomic structure of things. Eminem, any tips or books about finding purpose in life? I would say walk into a bookstore and just blindly walk around the bookstore and just find where you feel comfortable, and just don't read anything, don't look at any of the section. Find somewhere, walk up to a book and grab that book. That's your book. And that'll be a good place to start. Doesn't matter what it is. Don't judge it. Just walk through the store and say, this book, this energy, this area, that's what and it doesn't matter what it is. Pick that book up. And that's the book you need. And then from there, what you'll see and what will happen is you'll find that that book maybe has nothing to do with anything that you ever consciously were aware of. But then you'll start, because you're reading this book that has nothing to do with anything that you might have been interested in, you'll start reflecting that back to yourself and then realize that you are the living book, and that's only reflective surface for you to start to engage with whatever you are yourself as the living book, as the magnus opus or magnum opus. Tiger Strong, how can you gain more confidence? I mean, easiest way I know that's helpful is drinking piss, really, literally. As far as like actionable things, step-by-step process to gain more confidence. I mean, you're asking a very not confident person. You would never know that. Sometimes I'm very confident, sometimes I'm not at all. I don't think there's a solution to that. I think everything is, some people are like, just jump in, just jump in. That doesn't necessarily help. Sometimes it does. It's very, that's a very big question, man. I'll try to weave something together here for you, but. Eminem, you remember that Wakey Wakey story? That was a crazy one. That was reality folded in 50 times. Yeah. Fjorhar Lucifer. I dig your name, man. What up, Jim Dandy? You want to know about horse shit? Jim Dandy, I would love to give you a little more understanding on horse shit. Onrix Alex, look up the video. I don't want to dig in that right now. Look up the videos that I made on that. I think the names would be hit me on my Gmail, and I will look those videos up for you. I just don't remember the names off the top of my head. But simply put, digital reality is an underlaying of organic reality, but it still is part of the reality. It still is natural. It still is here. So it's only expressing what nature would be giving you that you can't see. If you saw a camel walk by you, or you saw a camel in a dream, there would be a certain energetic property that would be displaying to you. Well, you can't understand that because you don't understand. You're not symbol literate, but you understand what 11 means. It's easier to figure out what the number 1 or 222 means by just Googling 222 and seeing angelically what that number resonates. So in the same way that number has a resonant factor for some sort of archetype nature of something out there. So that'd be the simplest way to put it. I don't want to dig in too much there. What up, Robert Souza? Oh, Jim Dandy. But I am Jesus. And so are you. But if you're going to come here and you're not going to participate, I will just, block you or whatever because you're just being silly. But I will educate you. You seem like you need a good education. You come into the room and you start screaming. Start screaming. That's what caps lock is. What up, Eli Jen? Thank you. I don't even know how that works. I don't even know what happened there. That's cool. 2 is awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. I don't even know how that works. Thank you for paying attention. Yeah, Jim Dandy. I am Jesus Christ. I am a real person, and I do not hand out judgments. I hand out little dainties and cakes, and I also hand out cocktails to people. I give handouts to homeless people, houseless people. I give backhands to people that talk stupid shit. We do all sorts of handouts here. Jim Dandy, I wonder who this guy is that you know. Is there a joke in there too? Are you going to tell me that he's Mexican and he's also doing your yard work? Is he going to give me one of those? That was a the Jesus. Yeah, he's going to be checking it twice. You know what? Jesus is going to be handing out a judgment, but you know what? I know Lucifer real well, and his judgments are way worse than Jesus is. So you better watch out, because Lucifer is going to be coming for your ass. As well as Satan. He's coming too. And I might even call a third one. I might even call Baal in to talk to you. Yeah. Oh, Agen Thorta, the fire ceremony. Cool, man. Yeah, cool, man. I don't know much about it, Joseph, but you know, as usual, I'm happy to look into that farther and do that. That sounds real cool. Yeah, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Yeah. Thank you, Christian or Christine? Christian Nova. Jim Dandy, if I see you comment one more time, I'm just going to have to ban you, because you're just silly. Or I'll just let you sit here and people can make fun of you. Do you like to be made fun of? Or maybe we could lift you up and educate you. Do you need education? Or should we just follow you because you're the leader of the cult of the Latter-day Saints and Jesus Christ? Which book do you read? Because I've read a lot of different Bibles. I've read a lot of them. Have you? Can you read? Yeah, when you have got rid of the parasites out of your colon, that is damn sure. And once you start to feel a little bit of flickering of weird, or your mind change, you're like, nope, I'm gonna go. Like I've eaten things I shouldn't have, and I'm like, you know, the next day, 2 days later, I'm like, a coffee enema, urine enema, gotta get this out of me. You know, I'm happy to go to somebody's party and I will eat off the table of any of my brethren, but the next day I'm definitely gonna be cleaning myself out. Aldrin, do I know about Don Tolman's scholastic methods? Yes, I do. I know much about his methods. He used to have some schools, and I've got some of his books, and yeah, I know quite a bit. Yeah, there you go, Logan. Yeah, put your hands in the dirt, man. That's what, you know, why I think they say the constant gardener and the gardeners and the green thumb. There's something to that. What up, JR Smooth? Do I really think I'm Jesus? I think everyone is Jesus. Jesus has always meant Kundalini. Jesus has always meant imagination. Jesus has always meant the fish god. Jesus has always been inside of everyone. And now I'm also Brahma, and I'm also Mohammed, and I'm also Zen, I'm also you, I'm also whatever I am. I am whatever I say I am. I am the living book. And I suspect you are too, if you'd only open your brain, open your eyes. Be like water, my friend. I am water. I am fire, I am earth, I am wind. I am all these things. There we go, Brian Solis. We is Jesus out here. We is Jesus Incorporated, that's for damn sure. And Jesus is also the sun above your head, sure. What up, Mac Man? Yeah, Mac Man, the fear of the sun has been programmed into us. I covered this a lot in the last video I made. And there's plenty of other ones just about sun gazing. The last video, check it out. It has sun gazing in the title. You probably have to go about 45 minutes or 50 minutes in where I get into it. But yeah, it's like the sun causing cancer, right? Yeah, the thing that causes all life to exist. It's people's diets, and it's definitely programmed into us. And that's amazing. If you can stare at the sun at noon, you're in very rare company. That's heavy duty stuff. What up, JR Smooth? Who's the third one? Bala? Well, the word Baal or ballerina or ballet is a feminized version of Baal, and Baal is the Lord. The Lord Baal is in cahoots with Jesus Christ. Imagine that. Because Jesus says, hey, this is my imagination. Can you create something for me, Baal? And Baal says, yes, let me get right on that, boss. And Baal creates this world that you live on, which is the shadow realm, or you'd call maybe the devil plane, or where the devil resides, which is your body, because your body is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. This is why you are 666. And this is why you're made in the form by the consciousness of the Jesus Christ character into the form of what is the flesh. And the flesh is sin. Sin is the sine waves. The sine wave is the duality that you perceive, but it's not. It's just a wave of consciousness. But yeah, they're in cahoots, man. Imagine that. And Lucifer is also Sophia. Yeah, Lucifer is Sophia, the black goddess. Sophia's standard would be the white goddess, but the black goddess would be the Mother Earth, connected to all of the ancient black mother religious. The big black woman, that's Mother, which is the Earth, which is why she's brown. It's not the black woman. They call it the black woman, but it's the brown woman. Enoch is a fantastic book. I'll check it out. Zach Chrono, why are you tripping out on this jawline? I ain't got a very good jawline, man. This thing ain't. What is this doing? I don't know. My jawline ain't that strong. I still get what I need. Focus on what's going good for you, man. You got apparently you have bright eyes. You got a good smile. You got good cheekbones. That's what you're working with, man. Not everybody can have a Brad Pitt jawline, or who's that other one in Ocean's 11 with the big jawline? George Clooney. Not everybody can be George Clooney out here, man. Yeah, Brian Solis, this will be recorded. This is all recorded. I put this all goes right online. Yeah, man. But I hear you. I mean, JR Smooth or Junior Smooth. Look at all my videos. I know all of these things too. But where I work with people now is to move on beyond that, because just like I might know about say Genghis Khan, we're not living in that time frame. Neither are we living in 2001. We're living in 2018. So what we do is we work from where we are and try to move forward into a bigger, better, brighter future of freedom of soul brothers, of energy, of consciousness, awareness. You know, people have to remove themselves from the shackles of what that date means in their mind, because it has no relevance in your existence anymore unless you subject yourself to that. So what we just try to do is find new, better ways to emancipate ourselves from our own past belief systems and paradigms that keep us well underwater and contained as fish inside of somebody else's fishbowl, and we become sharks and break out of the tank and become living, breathing, spiritual soul brothers. But what do I know? How tall was the biggest tree ever? I don't know, man. That's a very good question. What up, Pixel Lexip? and noses. Hey, so check it out, y'all. Samuel Blackburn, what's going on? What's up, MM? Check it out. My phone is about to be... Oh, but I did you guys a big favor today, because I said yesterday that I screwed up. I brought my other computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another... I'm going to start another little broadcast here so we can keep this going if you want. Let's see here. Hmm. 1 second, Joe. see if my title is good for y'all. Okay, we're gonna jump over to this other one. It's gonna go live, y'all. Okay, see you in a second, y'all.